with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Welcome into a new week, Huskers fans. We'll get right to it. The big news yesterday, Trev Alberts made a change to the Nebraska football head coaching position and in no uncertain terms announced that this is Mickey Joseph's program.
I communicated to Mickey that Mickey's the head coach. I won't meddle in Mickey's decision-making process. I encouraged Mickey to be the head coach and make decisions as the head coach. And so he'll ultimately have an opportunity probably with all of you to explain. I think there will be some changes. Explain some of the changes with the team. There'll be some structural changes and things that I think Mickey believes in, which will be good going forward.
Mickey Joseph will have a press conference tomorrow. We'll break down his practice report before volleyball starts at 6:30 p.m. on the Huskers Radio Network again tomorrow night. And Mickey Joseph will also join us on Thursday night as he will have a full hour right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Elsewhere in Huskers sports, Nebraska volleyball maintained its number 2 rankings in the ABCA rankings. The Huskers' next opponent, Stanford, jumped to 9th after beating Minnesota, who fell from 3rd to 6th. Elsewhere in the Big Ten, Wisconsin jumped from 6th to 4. Ohio State moved from 8th to 5th. Purdue dropped 1 spot to 10th. Penn State made a big leap from 20th to 11th. And Illinois held firm at 25th. Up the street, up by 80, I should say. Creighton remained ranked at 17. In pro sports tonight, in Major League Baseball, couple of games underway. The Guardians have a 4-0 lead over the Angels. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. The Astros lead the Tigers 2-0 in the top of the 2nd. The Pirates are leading the Reds. That one's 1-0 in the top of the 2nd. A couple of games just about set to get started. The Rays battling the Blue Jays in Toronto. The Cubs will meet the Mets in New York at 6:10. The Rangers and Marlins, game 2 of a doubleheader. They will also start at 6:10 tonight. That's down in Miami. Then at 8:40, the Dodgers are taking on the Diamondbacks in Arizona. And at 8:45, the Braves battle the Giants out west. One earlier final, that doubleheader, game 1, Rangers and Marlins went to the Rangers. That was 3-2. It was the Rangers winning that one. In the NFL, it's the first Monday Night Football of the season, and it'll be Russell Wilson's first return to Seattle, wearing another team's uniform, that, of course, being the Broncos, as he and Denver look to get their season started on the right foot when they play the Seahawks at 7:15 p.m. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out, looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield, has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Makes a catch. 45 on Northwestern to the 40. Weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Bumped out of bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7 Nebraska set 2 after winning the first by 2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stuffed. Match point, Big Red. Kill it hard. Kennedy on. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, my goodness, a lot has happened since we last spoke on Friday night. A disappointing Husker football game, and then the dismissal of Scott Frost as Nebraska's head coach, with Mickey Joseph taking over as the interim head coach for the Big Red. Welcome to another week of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. We expect a lot of you to want to sound off tonight. That's great. That's what we're here for. 402-413-2400. The number to call us up with a comment or question, or if you want to fire off a text, you can do that as well. I was packing my bags after the disappointing loss on Saturday night, and Jessica, I was sad because deep down I felt like, okay, that's probably it. And doggone it, this was what was supposed to work. This was when Scott got hired 5 years ago. This was the one everybody in the state wanted. He was coming off an undefeated season at UCF, and Florida was at his heels trying to get him to take their job, and Tennessee was trying to lure him to Knoxville to take their job, and we got him. And he was the native son, the guy that took this program to another national championship in 1997. And I know he wanted it really badly, and we all wanted it really badly, and it just didn't work. And I was walking out of here, and I'm just like, man, I'm down because God, this was supposed to work.
Yeah, nobody wanted this to happen, and Scott wanted it to work. Everybody wanted it to work, and you thought when the hiring happened, I remember, I wasn't even here, but I remember thinking that is a home run hire. Everybody did. Across the country, everybody did, and just didn't work out. And Trev has made it very clear, and even Scott has made it very clear. You got to win. This is a business of winning, and so not the start that anybody expected. The players didn't expect this, and so it's definitely sad, and you didn't want it to happen. But also, there's still a season to play,
a lot of season,
and a massive opportunity this Saturday, and so. I've been told that the players had a great meeting yesterday, a good meeting yesterday, and that the positive vibes and attitudes are there because at the core of it, it's going to be the players that have to come together and make this thing work and move forward. And they still believe very much in each other. They came into this season thinking that they had a good football team, that they could win a lot of games, that they like playing together. And so I think that's still there. And now they're going to have to really rally together, and there's a lot to play for, and that's probably part of Trev's decision too, is seeing that there's some talent on this football team, and maybe a different voice can help get it done. Still a lot of conference to play, and a massive, just again, 1 week at a time this Saturday, a chance to really do something positive.
Yeah, and I think the timing of this, everybody's like, well, that October 1st the buyout went down. I think as Trev analyzed it, I think it was apparent where we were headed. And also the fact that Fox is bringing their national TV pregame show here on Saturday. Did you want them to be here for 2 hours before kickoff Saturday and speculating about the future of Scott Frost? Instead now, they're going to be talking about what's ahead for Nebraska football, and I think that's a much better way to look at it. I think that had to factor into the decision of the timing to do it now instead of waiting for the buyout to drop October 1st. But that's easy for me to say because it's not my money.
Right.
It's not my money to spend.
And again, I think there's still a lot to play for this season, and if there's a chance to turn this thing around, however that might be, might as well try and do it.
Absolutely.
Right? If the offense continues to play like they played on Saturday, you put up those kinds of points and you figure out some of the issues with the defense, you still got a chance to maybe win some football games here, and there's still a lot on the line, and so why not try to turn something around?
Yeah.
And if that is a new voice, then make the move and see what can be done.
Absolutely. Right. A lot of folks waiting to get at us here tonight. Again, 402-413-2400. Let's start in Battle Creek. Kent, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. Saturday night when we were driving home from the game, listened to the call-in shows. There was one individual, I don't know his name, doesn't matter, but he was bashing Scott Frost, saying he was a piece of crap and all this and that. I tried to get in on Saturday night. We don't need to be doing that. Scott Frost is not a piece of crap. He's a decent fella. Back when he was quarterback, and he was God to us. So we do not need to be bashing him over this situation. Our program wasn't a match for him, or he wasn't a match to the program, and everybody's going to move on. So we need to treat him with respect, and he's still a good guy.
Randy, or Kent, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well put. Thank you for that call. Let's go to Kearney next. And Randy, good evening. Randy, welcome to Sports Nightly.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I'm not upset Scott got fired. I think it should have happened 2 years ago. And the way they played Saturday, I don't expect much different this week when they played Oklahoma. Offense, so-so. With the defense, Oklahoma's going to stomp a hole in them and walk it dry. And by the way, the last caller that said about the guy that called Frost a piece of crap, which he still is, that was me.
All right, Randy. Classy call. Appreciate it, buddy. Let's stay in Lincoln. John, you're up next.
Yes, I go along with all the other two callers. I'm almost 80, and I go back really remembering when Tippy Dye came in and hired Bob Devaney. The past is the past, and we need to go forward and support Joseph. We need to support whatever comes down the line. Now, one thing I hope, I used to listen to the program for years and years, and 2 years ago you made a change, and you're in your second year with you two on the air. I know you've been here for years and years, and I just hope that they keep the consistency in your programming, because everybody's getting comfortable and understanding your two conversations and respecting what you have to say. But when there's major changes, sometimes everything gets changed around. But I've always enjoyed listening to your show. Have a good evening.
All right, John, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I think John's right. I think everybody now needs to get on board and support Mickey and move forward and see if we can do something with this season. 9 games, a long way still left in this deal.
Yeah, and even before the news came out, talking with Casey Thompson and Garrett Nelson, and, they're not ready to hang it up, and there's a lot to play for. I talked about this to Jeremiah, for some of these guys that want to go play at the next level, this is a huge opportunity for them, because when scouts go back and look at film, they're going to turn on this Oklahoma tape. And like they did last year when they were looking at Cam Jurgens made himself a lot of money by what he did against Oklahoma a year ago, and helped himself propel into the spot that he was for this past draft. And so this is going to be a huge opportunity, not just for this program and for this team, but individually as well, to go out and put a good performance together. And so, I think this team is absolutely ready to move forward, and we'll see how they put it together come Saturday.
All right, let's head down to North Texas. Brian, you're up next here on the program. Good evening.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
Hey, I think the biggest thing is over the period of time, we just haven't improved at all. And the biggest thing that I see is we're just not attacking on defense. We're playing more zone. We're not doing man-to-man. And if you think about it, if we're not giving the defensive lineman time to get to the quarterback, it's because we're playing zone, we're giving them early outlets. And so that's kind of my biggest thing. And here's one thing I throw out there, because I'm an older person. Mickey Joseph, playing Oklahoma, remember the play where he got tackled 4 yards out of bounds, and pretty much ruined his career.
Rammed into that metal.
So that's
bench.
kind of a maybe something that he can get the kids to look at and say, hey, look, let's get in it. So I'll hang up and let you guys talk.
All right, appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Mickey, that was a game that really was costful to Mickey's career, because he got hurt really bad ramming his leg into that metal bench. Let's head out to Maxwell and Randy. Good evening, Randy. Welcome to the program.
Well, good evening, Jessica and Greg.
Hi, Randy.
You know from my calls in the past, I'm a Croft homer. I do think it's a mistake, but I understand the Wolves were at Albert's door. I do think that Georgia Southern's a talented team, and I don't know where the defense has gone. Nebraska's scored enough on offense to be 3-0. Now, I don't think Frost has just suddenly forgot how to coach. He was successful at Oregon. He's successful at UCF. And he'll be successful somewhere else if he chooses to coach again. But I do think there was some innocence lost here with the firing of Frost. I don't think the program will ever be the same. And I do think the sellout streak's the next thing to go. Now, with that being said, Godspeed, Coach Joseph, and I really do hope you can turn it around.
Randy, thanks. I think it's okay to feel sad today. I think that's fine. I mean, again, Scott was one of us, and it just didn't work. But I think as we get closer, Jessica, to Saturday, I think people will totally rally around their favorite team, the Huskers, and rally around Mickey Joseph. He's another one of their own. He was a good player here at Nebraska as well. So I think it's fine to feel those emotions right now.
And what a great game to get rallied up for, with the history and tradition. And they're going to be honoring the 70-71 teams, and there's going to be a lot of former players on the sidelines, and it's going to be, special. I said this last year. This meant a lot to the Oklahoma fans when Nebraska was going back to Oklahoma. It still means a lot. They can't wait to come here. I know Nebraska fans appreciate there's just such a great respect for this rivalry and all the history and the great games that were played. And so, and then you throw in the fact that Casey Thompson, this means a lot to him as well. And so there's a lot on the line, and what a great game to, we're sad and there's things that have to improve, but what a great game to rally around, to all come together as a fan base, as teams supporting this team and show up and, help this team put on a good performance, because make this a great atmosphere for them.
I think they do. I think Husker Nation will rally and get it done. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Up to West Point we go. Pete, good evening. Welcome to the program.
How you doing today?
Oh, been better.
I really hated to see it. I knew changes had to come, but I really wanted Scott Frost to work out here at Nebraska. I really think Scott Frost was maybe a little too loyal. I think with some of his defensive coordinator maybe needs to have part of this blame. Nobody's talking about the defensive coordinator, but there's some blame there too. I study this team a little bit, and I could be totally wrong, but it looks to me like they didn't have near enough live action contact in pre-fall camp or fall camp and during the season. I think we have athletes. I think we could be a good team, and we all need to get behind Mickey Joseph, man. Let's show Nebraska class, guys. Instead of that guy that calls a coach a piece of crap, come on. You're just showing you how classless you are when you do crap like that. Let's support this team. Let's support Mickey. And I think Mickey might just turn out to be one heck of a coach, and I believe in him. So come on, Nebraska fans. Be true Nebraska fans, not low class. Let's be high class.
Pete, appreciate it. Thank you, as always, for the phone call. This defense and the way they performed, Jessica, surprised me.
Yeah.
Because they were so good a year ago. They kept us in so many games. And I remember we had a practice report in the middle of August weeks.
Yeah, and you hope that, because the mentality was there a year ago. I mean, it's crazy how the mentality has flipped. A year ago, it was just, hey, just get 1 or 2 scores. And this defense was going to hold other opposing team offenses. And they were fine with that. They embraced the fact that, hey, we're going to go out there and do our job, and that's going to keep opposing offenses at bay. Now, on the sideline, and I did a report about this in the broadcast, those offensive coaches we got to do our job, and our job is to score every time we're on the field. And the defense seemed a little bit beat up. And so I think some of it is probably a confidence issue. I think not having Nick Henrich out there is hurting more than we could have ever imagined, just because it's just hard for him to maintain being a leader when he's not on the field and he's trying on the sideline. But I think, he's been a glue guy, and I think that's hurt too, not having him out there. But hopefully there's enough guys on there that have had that mentality of what the standard is. And Coach Shenander said it. There's a standard, and a standard that the players set that they're not living up to at this point. And so you hope that you can dig deep and find a way to fix some of the things that need to be corrected if you want to go compete and help this team win football games.
Here's what we have on the program tonight. I had a sit down with Trev Alberts yesterday that was on the television show last night. Obviously, we couldn't put a coach out on the Husker football TV show last night, so Trev Alberts joined me. We're going to play that conversation back for you here in a couple of minutes. And our resident historian here on the Huskers Radio Network, Nate Rohr, is going to come on with us in hour number 2 to kind of give us a historical snapshot of kind of where we are and where this fits into the great history of this program right now. So all that coming up later on in the program. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Back with more of the show coming up next.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Vaughn with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Touchdown, Nebraska.
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Woodhouse Ford is your certified Ford dealer, serving drivers throughout Nebraska for 47 years. Our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Customers have been relying on Woodhouse Ford since 1975 for high-quality vehicles, knowledgeable staff, and exceptional service. Experience the Woodhouse Ford difference and shop at one of our 3 locations in-store or online at woodhouseford.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers. More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with NAT.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a competent teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Monday night. Ben on our text line said, I've lived here for 15 years. In that entire time, Nebraska has been irrelevant in FBS. I don't know if that's, I totally agree with that, because Bo Pelini had some teams that played for conference championships, but okay. I was glad to hear that Trev was sharing that view. Get consistent first, stop talking about championships, just become relevant again.
Yeah, I mean, and we've had a couple texters and people call in and, make comments about doing things like we're done in the 90s. And we heard Trev say it yesterday. We got to move forward. We can't keep staying in the past and looking back in the past, because it was great and it worked then, but it doesn't work now. You have to stay constantly evolving and moving forward. And so, it's time to look forward and look ahead. And I mean, that's coming straight from the 80s mouth as well. And so I hope we start thinking about the future and what needs to happen to be good in the future, not going back and doing exactly what's been done in the past.
Yeah, that was 25 years ago. All right. I did sit down with Trev after the press conference yesterday to do a couple of television segments for the television show last night. Some of you maybe saw these comments, but for those of you who didn't, let me replay my conversation yesterday with the Husker Athletic Director. Excited to be joined now by the Director of Athletics for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Trev Alberts. I know this has not been the weekend you hoped or anticipated for. What's the last day been like?
Greg, it's been tough. I mean, these are never fun days, and they're hard for everybody. They're hard for the coaches, they're hard for all of the support staff, their families. It's hard for our football team, and it's one of those days that you hope never comes, because it was never the hope all along. We worked as hard as we possibly could. I know Scott worked as hard as he possibly could, and unfortunately, we are where we are. We're 16-31, and really felt like 9 games left in the season. If we had a new voice, some new energy, maybe a different focus, some slight tweaks, can we find a way to win some games for these seniors and for us?
Yes, to talk to the team today.
Well, first of all, I have a lot of respect for Scott and the way that he handled the situation. He and I talked about 11 o'clock Sunday morning, and he assured me that he cared deeply about the University of Nebraska and would not do anything to try to disrupt or harm. And so both of us went in front of the team, and I thanked Scott in front of the team for all of his hard work and told the team what was going to happen next, and then allowed them an opportunity. There weren't any questions. I then left to allow Scott have time alone with the team, and he had that time with them, and it wasn't too long. And then ultimately I brought Coach Joseph in, and he addressed the team as well and reminded them that we have 9 games left, and we have a tremendous opportunity this weekend in a huge stage playing against Oklahoma. So that's sort of how it went down.
You mentioned Coach Joseph. You did the second part of this as you've named him the interim head coach. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts about elevating another former Husker to that spot?
Yeah, Mickey's he's a former teammate obviously as well, and infectious personality, worked hard. I think he's had a lot of different perspectives. He's been different places, and I think he has some thoughts about some slight structural things that could help us. I looked at multiple people on the staff. The reality is, when you think about it, Coach Whipple's busy building a game plan, and there are head coaching responsibilities that frankly right now we need Coach Whipple really focused on the game plan and calling the plays. And same thing with Chandler. We've obviously got some significant holes and weaknesses on our defense, and so I just really thought right now for where our team's needs are and going forward that Coach Joseph made the most sense to help us finish out this 22 season.
This has been a rough stretch of Husker football. We all know that. Mm-hmm. And yet you look out there last night, packed house, fans supporting this program. That has to warm your heart and also fill you with hope of where you can go.
Well, it does, and I can't thank our fans enough. You know, we've talked about this a lot, but the differentiator for Nebraska is our fan base. At the same time, you know, we can't take our fans for granted. And more importantly, and you know, for me, accountability has to be part of a great culture. And 16-31 leads to a change, and so accountability matters to me. But I can't thank our fans enough. I thought it was a special environment, and quite frankly, if you didn't have a rooting interest in just watching the game, it was a fun game to watch. There was a lot of offense, a lot of big plays. It wasn't fun for me, but you know, so we would just ask our fans to stay with us, hang with us, Greg, and we're going to keep working, and we're going to put a product out on the field that the state of Nebraska and our fans are going to be really proud of.
The decision to make a change at the top of the football program. Now, where do you go from here? What are the next steps for you?
Well, first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to support our existing team and our coaches. And I'll be working with Coach Joseph and doing the same thing I did with Scott, is what can I do to be helpful? I don't want to get in the way. I don't want to meddle. But I've told Mickey he's the head coach, and I want him to have the authority to make the decisions that he thinks are necessary to get us through the season. And then the next thing that you're going to do is, you know, we are going to engage third-party help, and most of that's logistics to help us as we navigate through this. But ultimately, Greg, you know, we've got a runway now and a window that allows us an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And, you know, there's a lot of great football minds out there, and one of them resides in Lincoln, Nebraska, and so I'll talk to him as well. But, you know, in my previous experience, I had a chance to interact with a lot of coaches, and I intend to reach out to a lot of coaches. And that's why I said at the press conference, you know, there are going to be a lot of rumors, there are a lot of innuendo. Trev reached out to XYZ coach. It may very well be that I did reach out to that coach. It didn't mean that I was hiring that coach or attempting to hire. But I think you can learn about your own organization by getting others' perspectives from afar about you and what would help Nebraska be great. So I intend to reach out to a lot of people. Obviously, we've got a small group of trusted advisors that I work with here, and of course our leadership and Chancellor Green and President Carter will do this together. It won't be in a silo or in a vacuum, and ultimately we'll make a recommendation on the next leader of Husker football.
Is someone with previous head coaching experience a must for you or not?
Well, you know, I never like to use words like must because, you know, these are very definitive words that sometimes it really limits you. But obviously at a place like Nebraska, you know, Greg, I think that I think this is a place that has enough demands that experience matters. You know, I think track record matters. You know, and as we continue navigating these changes in college athletics, there are going to be fewer and fewer programs, you know, that makes sense. So we really need to define that, and we need to define what is the culture here that our fans and our alumni can identify with. Clearly define it, and then we'll go out and find somebody who fits that culture and that role. So I think head coaching experience would certainly be wonderful, but I don't like to use very definitive words in case something happens that leads us down a path that somebody doesn't have head coaching experience.
You mentioned earlier 9 games left. There's a lot of the season left, a lot of home games left,
That's
including
right.
a big one Saturday with Oklahoma. There's going to be a lot of fanfare around that game, big national exposure as well. A lot of things to still get excited about.
A lot of things to get excited about. We're going to be honoring the 70-71 team. Johnny Rodgers, it's the 50th year of him winning the Heisman Trophy. There's going to be a lot of people coming to town. It's a great opportunity. Fox, you know, noon kickoff show, and it'll be a great national audience. And so really like our fan base to showcase our program as best we possibly can. I know that they will, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see our football team play very, very well. This is a team that has talent, as you know, Greg. And I think if we have slightly different focus and motivation, and I'm going to give Mickey Joseph that credit when he gets it done because he's going to work hard at it. I'm looking forward to seeing the team play well on Saturday.
Appreciate you sitting down with us, and best of luck here in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much.
That was my conversation yesterday after the press conference with the Husker athletic director that did run on our television shows last night, but wanted to give you all a chance to hear some of that. It came on pretty late last night after some of those late NFL games, some of our markets. So great to hear from Trev, and we'll certainly be keeping up with what he's doing in the coming weeks.
God, he handled everything so well yesterday.
He's pretty good at that, isn't he?
Yeah, really good. Not surprising, but, you know, and then again, just stepping in and doing the TV show. You know,
Right.
yesterday, not only doing the press conference, but had to fill a TV show. So, yeah, just, again, continuing to show why he's the right man for this job.
402-413-2400. Let's take a call before we go to the next break. Children of the Corn up next. Good evening, children.
How we doing, Greg? Jeff?
Good.
Hey, I agree with a lot of stuff he said and a lot of stuff that Trev said about Scott Frost. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. I wish it would have worked, but when you go 26 in 4 games, you can't expect to stay somewhere to keep coaching. I mean, he's not going to be unemployed long. Somebody will snag him, and he'll move on to have a great career. But I think the one thing that defined that game was defense and accountability. Our defense has to improve. Our offense can win, but if you can't hold the other team under 31 points, they're not going to be very good.
Frost was not winning more than he was losing. So I think, and you're right, I still go back to my comment, Jessica, a little bit ago. A month ago, if you'd have told me the defense would have been giving up the yardage and the points they have to this point, I would not have believed you. I did not think that was going to happen.
I didn't either. I'm shocked, and I've been shocked. I was shocked at some of those missed tackles because I told you from the start when I got here that was one thing that really jumped out to me coming from the Big 12 is how well this team tackled and got guys to the ground. And so the fact that that's been an issue this year has been really shocking because there's enough players that played last year that are still on this defense this year. On the flip side of that, and I understand they got to do it more than 1 week, but the offense has shown flashes of being really good, and for them to click the way that they did last week, I was pretty shocked. I knew that they'd continue. I figured that they would continue to make progress, but for them to click the way that they did in week 3, you would think that would have been more of a process. So hopefully they can keep building off of that because they certainly looked really solid at a lot of stretches last week.
I thought the 98-yard drive to take the lead late was going to be enough to get it done. Hey, visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November 4th and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November 19th, plus a pregame tailgate. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you could be a winner this season. More of the show coming up next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska Lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in the Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeTow Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DeTowSubaru.com.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Scrawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We'll keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Stephen Bellevue on our text line said, hey kids, not sure who should be the next head coach. Hope Coach Joseph works out, but at 25-1, I'm putting a C note on Sue. Just saying. How about Ndamukong
awesome.
Sue going, I'm ready to coach.
Yes.
I think bigger things are ahead for Ndamukong Sue. Not that being a coach is not a big thing, but I think bigger things for Ndamukong.
Casey Thompson has experience with Oklahoma. You know, watched the game last year against OU, and you know, he had a fine game all in all. And he knows what to expect athletically. At the same time, we have more than a few weapons on offense in the run game, tight end game, the wide receiver game. And I think we're going to score our share of points. And then secondly and lastly, just to touch on the defense real quick, and compared to last year where we had a good load of super seniors, guys who were pros with a ton of talent, you know, Cam Taylor, Brett, JoJo Doman, just to name a few. And I think we kind of, milked those players for everything that they were worth and the success that the defense had last year. So call it drop off, call it what you want. I don't think we're devoid of talent. I don't think it's a talent thing. I think there's a lot of youngsters on that side of the ball, some transfers on that side of the ball. Ultimately, I think it's going to be up to defensive coordinator Shenander to coach him up, number one. And number two, I think he himself is going to need to sort of step out of his comfort zone this year with the players that he has on defense. So thanks for taking my call. Go Big Red.
Doc, great observation. I think that we maybe underestimated all that veteran experience that was lost on that side of the ball. It's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, JoJo Doman, Ben Stilley.
The forever college player, yeah.
I mean, even...
The two safeties.
Yes, absolutely. And we've talked... Cam Taylor-Britt, obviously, went to the NFL, and we've talked a lot about even like a guy like Damian Daniels. How much would he help this defense this year?
A ton.
So there were a lot of guys that had played a lot of football that had been around that bought in together and had a certain mentality. And even Jeremiah said that, it wasn't necessarily that defense last year was loaded with a ton of talent, but the way that they played together and just had that mentality and that mindset just was created for the success of that defense, no doubt about it.
Doug in Norfolk on our text line said, you're not a true Husker fan if you're happy about the Frost firing. Everyone thought he would get this fixed. Now we need to support Mickey Joseph and this team like true Husker fans. Doug, appreciate that text. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you were looking for with Woodhouse. Back with our final segment of Hour 1 next.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
There's a call in the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Backed by popular demand, Hyvee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hyvee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hyvee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hyvee, you get a 20-cent Hyvee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Time now for the Special Teams Diagnosis, presented by Nebraska Cancer Specialists, Nebraska's leading community oncology practice. Huskers, again, a great day for Brian Buschini. 4 punts, averaged 50 yards a punt. The only field goal attempt was that one by Timmy, the 52-yarder to end the game that missed. And the Huskers, not very much in the return game still. I thought maybe this would be the week that something would happen there. Brendan Franke was great kickoffs. 5 of his 7 were for touchbacks. Nebraska Cancer Specialist delivers compassionate, personalized, and cutting-edge care in a convenient outpatient setting. They are committed to providing exceptional care and continued support to patients, families, and caregivers. Brandon from Kearney on our text line said, Sunday was a sad day. It was a move that needed to be made, but so sad that Frost couldn't get the job done. I look back in his coaching career here and think it was stacked against him with the Akron game, the COVID year. So early in his tenure, I also feel that he had a lot of pressure to try to succeed after he had some swagger at UCF. Not everyone in Kearney is like the previous guy. Yeah, I mean, the thunderstorm rain out of the Akron game on game 1 of his tenure certainly did, I think, hurt Scott. Let's plug in Jim Simpson in North Platte. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the program.
Well, I want to thank you for taking my call. I'm going to go back years. Well, one of the last years, that Nebraska played Oklahoma the day after Thanksgiving. I was up about in the middle of the south end zone, about 10 rows from the top. Even it was like 30. It was about 0 degrees out, and the wind chill was like 50 below out. I always remember that game because we won the ball game. Even late in the fourth quarter, whoever won the conference then got to go to the Orange Bowl.
Yep.
Even that cold, so that it was cold, everybody was bundled up. Thank you. Go Big Red.
You bet, Jim. Appreciate the call. Yeah, a lot of those Oklahoma-Nebraska games, the Orange Bowl was decided. All those oranges flying onto the field after touchdowns. That was a cool, cool deal. Hey, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We have another hour to go. Come on back.
Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best. At Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Touchdown
Nebraska.
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Welcome into a new week, Huskers fans, and we'll get right to it. The big news yesterday was Trev Alberts making a change to the Nebraska football head coach position, and in no uncertain terms, he announced that now this is Mickey Joseph's program.
I communicated to Mickey that Mickey's the head coach. I won't meddle in Mickey's decision-making process. I encouraged Mickey to be the head coach and make decisions as the head coach. And so he'll ultimately have an opportunity, probably with all of you, to explain. I think there will be some changes. Explain some of the changes with the team. There'll be some structural changes and things that I think Mickey believes in, which will be good going forward.
Coach Joseph will have a press conference tomorrow. We'll break it down in a practice report during Sports Nightly tomorrow night before Nebraska volleyball takes the airwaves at 6:30 p.m. Mickey will then join us live on Thursday for a full hour of the Nebraska football radio show. Elsewhere in Husker sports, Nebraska volleyball maintained its number 2 ranking in the AVCA college poll. The Huskers' next opponent, Stanford, jumped to 9th after beating Minnesota this weekend, and Minnesota fell from 3rd to 6th as a result. Elsewhere, other Big Ten teams, Wisconsin jumped from 6 to 4. Ohio State moved from 8 to 5. Purdue dropped 1 spot to 10th. Penn State made a big leap from 20th to 11th, and Illinois held firm at 25. Up the street, it is Creighton holding firm at number 17. In pro sports tonight in the MLB, a lot of games underway now. 4-4. Angels and Guardians knotted up in the bottom of the 6th. The Astros lead the Tigers 5-0 midway through the 5th. Also midway through the 5th, the Pirates jumping on the Reds 6-2. 1-1. It's a Blue Jays and Rays AL East showdown in Toronto. That one is tied at 1 in the 4th. Bottom of the 3rd, 3-0 Cubs jumping out on the Mets. An important game for the Mets as they try to hold on to the top spot in the NL East. The Marlins lead the Rangers 1-0. That's the second game of a doubleheader, as the Marlins lead that one in the top of the 4th. At 8:40, the Dodgers will take on the Diamondbacks, and at 8:45, there'll be first pitch between the Braves and the Giants. Braves trying to chase down the Mets in that NL East division. Only one final earlier today in baseball. The Rangers topped the Marlins in game 1 of their doubleheader, 3-2. In the NFL, in just a few minutes, it's the first Monday Night Football of the season, and it'll be Russell Wilson's first return to Seattle wearing another team's uniform. Wilson and the Broncos will look to get their season started on the right foot. Again, that one kicks off in just a few minutes around 7:15 p.m. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Good pass by Kulik outside set. Whitney Lonstein, kaboom! You can only try to slow her down. You can't stop Whitney. Boy, she's gravity's worst enemy.
Give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside. 40, 35, 30. Foot race now. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Now outside Mississippi. Blocked. Kalen Horn. Whitney Lonstein. That's a combined 13 feet of humanity. We're tied at 19 in Lincoln.
Snap back to Casey. Throws downfield looking for Trey Palmer. He goes up, and did he hang on at the 37-yard line? He did. What a grab by Trey Palmer.
Beautiful pass, back set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom! 19-18, Big Red.
Chancellor Brewington in the game to block. They fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska. Going to roll out, flip to Chancellor Brewington, and he scores. It's his second career Husker touchdown.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of our Monday show here on Sports Nightly. Wow, what a wild weekend, huh? Disappointing Saturday night loss to Georgia Southern. What a weekend for the Sun Belt. Spoiler alert, that might come up later on in the hour in our weekend winners. And then the Sunday events with Scott Frost being relieved of his duties and Mickey Joseph being elevated to the interim head coach for Husker football. And the search now begins for Trev Alberts to find the next leader of the program, which could be Mickey Joseph, depending on what happens for the next 9 games for the Huskers moving forward. 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program with a call or a text later on in the hour. Nate Rohr, our resident historian, will be by to kind of put this all into a historical perspective of where Husker football has been and where it might be going. We'll talk to Nate coming up later on in the hour. But let's start off the hour with some calls. Up to Omaha we go first. Mike, welcome to the program.
Hey, do you guys think if the defense
had kept them from scoring a touchdown at the end of the game, any of this would be happening.
Well, that question got asked of Trev yesterday. Said if they'd won the game without a change it, and Trev didn't want to touch it. He said, "Nah, I'm not going to get into that."
I mean, what do you think?
I don't think it would change it at all. No.
Really? Do you think he would have been fired if we win that game and the defense has stopped?
I do.
Interesting, because both of you guys said you're kind of shocked how poorly the defense is playing. Am I right?
Yeah. If you'd have told me before the season began or early August that the defense would be shredded like it has, I would have been shocked based on what we've seen from Eric Chenander's group the last couple of years.
I mean, are you guys fans of Chenander like I am?
I think he's a really good coach. That's why I'm really baffled by what we've seen these first 3 weeks.
And, Greg, a lot of those super seniors, and I heard Henrich talking about this, a lot of them came back because of their love and respect for Chenander.
Right. Oh, there's
Whereas
no
in
doubt.
offense, we had a lot of guys transferring. I'm just so sad about the whole thing because I think our offense was starting to click with the combination of Whipple and Frost. Do you agree?
Totally agree. Absolutely.
And we're not going to have that. And Frost seems a great mind, but obviously when he was calling all the shots offensively, it wasn't working. And this combination, obviously, it was going to take some time to work, and now we're not going to see what it could have done. And it has to do with the defense, not the offense. And we're paying these obscene amount of money. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, it's not my money, but it could be spent so much better than rewarding a guy that's had a horrible record. I mean, it's just sad.
It is. It is sad. And, you know, but I think we all saw this coming. I think a lot of people thought this move should have been made after last season. I think Trev and Scott sat down and said, can we fix it? Let's make some changes to the staff. Let's try to get it fixed. And the 3 games it hasn't looked good the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I understand the thinking of, well, if the defense is the problem, but again, you have a guy that's in charge of everything that ultimately it falls on his shoulders at the end of the day, and so not getting it done, and that's on him, and it's been said from last year when they reworked the contract that you got to win, you got to make some changes, and it's got to show on the field. And up until this point, the offense, yes, looks better, but you got to play offense and defense. It's got to be a complete game. You've got to put it all together, and ultimately that's on the head coach.
No doubt. Let's go to Carney and Neil. Good evening, Neil. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Hey, Charlie McBride probably just would have blitzed everybody and took his chances and did something to try to stop something. But, specifically, I just kind of wonder about the defensive line. Is there anybody else we could put in? It just seems like our interior defensive line is not very good. You know much about the depth chart?
Oh, I think the ones they're playing are the best guys they've got on the program right now. And you think about it, Neil, appreciate the call. You go back, Stephon Wynn was not here in spring ball. Devin Drew didn't get here till August. They're playing significant snaps. You had Casey Rogers transfer out late in the semester. I think that hurt the depth a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, I think they're playing their best guys that they have in the program right now, and it's not happening. O'Shawn Mathis was a big late addition that Nebraska thought would certainly help the pass rush, but it just has not happened in the first 3 weeks of the season. Let's go to Auburn next. And, John, good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, I love your show, guys. Been a fan for 50 years, been going to games for 50 years. I wish Scott Frost and his family nothing but the best. Class act. I wondered what you guys thought about, is Mickey Joseph going to get a fair shake at the end of the year to, be the next coach? I went into the Vegas odds today, and he's about 6th or 7th down the list. They've got Campbell, Iowa State, Bill O'Brien, Luke Fickell. They got 4 or 5 ahead of him. I just wonder, with Trev talking about a search committee, and he's going to talk to a lot of people, I just don't know. What do you guys think about him getting a real fair shake, having to deal with the same staff that's there in place now? Thank you. I'll hang up and listen to your call.
Yeah, appreciate it. I think it's probably a long shot. I think usually these interim situations, that it is a long shot. But if he can get out there and shake this up and this team can turn it around and win some football games, I think he would strengthen his case. But and I think Mickey would even agree. It's probably a long shot that he gets the job permanently. But hey, he's got a shot, and I think he'll certainly make the most of it. I know Mickey; he's a determined guy. He'll give this his best effort.
Absolutely, and you think about maybe he could be the offensive coordinator. He hadn't been an offensive coordinator, so maybe it's an opportunity for that. Maybe it's an opportunity. I mean, again, you don't know. I think he's focused on now and getting this team ready to play now, but potentially down the road, maybe at a different program. You never know. Maybe they see how he's running this program. But, I think he's going to do what he can do to help this team win now, and then the rest will work out how it works out. And if you help this team, if this team turns around and wins a lot of games, a lot of different conversations will be had. But I just think there's a reason why Trev said we're going to take our time and we're going to make sure that we do our due diligence and we're going to find the right man for the job. And that right man is not known right now. So give it some time. Maybe that does work out to be Mickey Joseph. Maybe we'll see. But I think he will get a fair shake if he does what he needs to do over these next 9 games. Probably the most famous interim guy to get the head coaching job is Dabo. I mean, Dabo Swinney, that's what happened at Clemson. In fact, Nebraska played him in the bowl game that he had just got named the permanent guy back in that Gator Bowl. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let's go to Minnesota and Tim. Good evening, Tim. Welcome to the program.
Good evening. Well, after Saturday night, I stayed away from things just to avoid the noise, especially any negativity that could be there. So I didn't find out about it until someone told me last evening, and going way back before Ireland, I was always concerned about getting rid of Frost, and even people like getting rid of Solich, getting rid of Pelini those earlier times. I feel like it really history kind of tells what happened when we had Riley and Callahan. And so I was very concerned and kind of upset when I first heard about it last night. But I eventually listened to Trev Alberts, and I felt a little bit better because he handled, like it's been said, he handled himself excellently. And so I feel a little bit better, although my thought was still pretty firmly, we had better find the right guy. If we get someone like, I don't know, these other people, some of them, who knows, maybe they might work out, but, I remember when Frost was in the running to become our head coach, they were talking about people like Chip Kelly, maybe Steve Sarkisian, or I don't know who else. I don't know how much they were talking about those guys. It seems like names like that came up, guys who are, famous, maybe even in Urban Meyer times, certainly not this time around, but in the past. And I still feel hiring someone like that is like Callahan or worse. I feel it would blow up in our face because they would not get our culture at all. I mean, all we have to do is look to what happened with Riley and Callahan, especially Riley, good guy as he was. I think that set us way, way, way back. Stacked against Scott. So that's my thinking. I feel more confident that Trev will, get someone who gets us, who understands that. So that's, last thing is, it's kind of ironic.
Real quick, Tim, real quick.
Defense. Oh, yeah. You remember that play where Scott Frost called that timeout and saved, it's ironic how he saved our defense there. Kept us in the game. So that's it.
All right, Tim, appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. He called that timeout on that goal line stand. We weren't lined up quite right, or he saw something he didn't like, and they got it done. I think we just got to put our thoughts behind Trev Alberts, and I know that he's going to make a good decision for this program moving forward. One more caller before we go to the next break. Oklahoma Huskers up next on the program. Good evening, sir.
Hello. How are you guys this evening besides the circumstances we're in?
Good, thanks.
You bet. My concern, and I really did not think it would happen, would be if we lost one of the 2 last games, that this may be the ultimate outcome. It happened. Saturday night after the game, I thought that the firing of Frost may occur. I really thought it would wait until October, so I was somewhat shocked yesterday. However, saying that, anybody that wants to criticize Frost and call him a terrible person is ridiculous. He loves this state. He loves this university. And obviously he gave it his best. It's a business. I understand that. My concern is on the defensive line. Our defense held us in games last year, and we lost some very key players. So that may take a little bit of time to figure out. But offense seems to be performing well. And all I can say is let's support this university and let's beat OU. I'm driving up Friday from Oklahoma to Lincoln to support this team.
Very good. Well, drive safely. We'll look forward to seeing you in Lincoln over the weekend. I think that's exactly right. Get on board, support Mickey Joseph, support these guys for the next 9 weeks, and let Trev Alberts go to work.
Absolutely. Just really invest in this team, because there are some guys that absolutely still believe in this team, and they're not going to quit. And then let Trev, obviously Trev knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Let him do his job, and we'll see where it goes after that.
Hey, if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown, you could be a winner of $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto Family dealership this season. A contestant gets chosen weekly. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to get yourself entered. We're back with our resident historian, Nate Rohr. That's coming up next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Let Shelter Insurance get you in the game this football season. The Nebraska Huskers are gearing up for another big year, and this is your chance to win tickets from Shelter Insurance and the Husker Radio Network. Contact a Nebraska Shelter agent, and they'll register you for a chance to win tickets to one of 4 home football games this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Huskers and ask them to register you to win.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Here we are on a Monday night, Sports On here on the Huskers Radio Network. After the game Saturday night, I did bump into our next guest, Nate Rohr, who is the public address announcer at Memorial Stadium. And what were your emotions Saturday night? I was sad because I felt like, as I was packing my bag, and I said this earlier in the program, I just felt like that was probably going to be the end of that Scott Frost era. What were your emotions Saturday night?
Yeah, sad and resigned were probably the two overriding feelings I had, because it's just impossible to come back from a loss to a Georgia Southern program whose head coach was only in his second game there and really was changing over the offense, and it's already the second loss of the season. So in my mind, the Scott Frost era was done. I think when I was walking out of Memorial Stadium, I was still mindful of the October 1st date when the buyout went down, and thinking that might still be a factor. As it turns out, it wasn't. And that's probably for the best. I mean, 3 weeks where you're just playing out the string and you know that you're probably going to make a change is pretty tough. But, you know, with all the excitement, with all the fanfare that was attendant at the beginning of this era, the fact that it ends like this is just terribly sad. Now, I say all that, and it doesn't mean Nebraska football is done by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that it's going to take a massive course correction, a massive change in direction for Husker football to come back, and a decision like the one Trev Alberts made yesterday is hopefully the beginning of that process.
Nate is a young man, but we consider him an old soul. He's a bit of our historian here at the Huskers Radio Network. This is, unfortunately, Nate, this is becoming a bit of a trend. We're going to be on yet another coaching search for this football program that for decades had such great stability, from Devaney to Osborne, and then the handoff of the baton to Frank Solich. This is just uncharted territory for Husker fans, isn't it, as it relates to football?
Well, yes and no. As you mentioned, we've been through a few of these coaching searches. The uncharted territory of it is the fact that, we still have 9 games of the season to go, and rather than the subtext being, will Nebraska keep him or won't they, it'll be, what's Nebraska going to do next? And although that is a more positive sort of question to have out there, and the stories that follow from that are a little more positive. At the same time, we're kind of used to scouring the nation and going, okay, who's next? What's next for Nebraska football? The other part of this that feels very similar historically to me is the period from 1941 to 1961, a 21-year period where Nebraska just went through coaches. Nebraska, time doesn't begin, in September of 1962, even for Husker football, even though that was really the beginning of the best era of Husker football. But for the first 50 years of this program, Nebraska football was arguably the best program in the Big Six Conference, but was underrated nationally because so much of the college football power was populated in the Northeast with Notre Dame, to a lesser extent in the Pac-8 and in the Big Ten. So as a result, those early year Husker teams never got their due. Well, they go to the Rose Bowl, but then World War II hits, and that 21-year period, Nebraska had only 3 winning seasons and just went through coach after coach after coach after coach, and just could never quite figure it out. And they grabbed, for example, Bernie Masterson is a guy who was a great player for the University of Nebraska in the 30s, a native of Lincoln, and then he helps Stanford beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl, and was a practitioner of the T formation, and which was kind of the modern offense of its day, a parallel to the no-huddle spread that Scott Frost was so good at running at Oregon. Everybody thought he would come to Nebraska and be successful, and he wasn't. So there are some parallels. There are some things that feel the same. I think the biggest difference is the idea that you're going to go through a whole season of speculation about who's next instead of is this coach going to stick around. And so it'll be a little weird to have the coaching carousel piece of it going on while there's still a season going on.
A significant amount of that season as well. Nate Rohr of our Huskers Radio Network here with us on Sports On It. We're kind of put this into historical perspective, what's going on with this program right now. We heard Trev Alberts talk yesterday, Nate, about some traits, about what he will be looking for. I think he's going to talk to a large swath of people about this job. Maybe it's recommending people for this job. I think that's going to be going on in the next 75, 80 days for him. What in your mind, what are some things that he needs to look for? What would be a couple of traits you would want?
if I'm looking for something measurable, and understand that's kind of what we have to work with, as opposed to a guy like Trev Alberts who can talk to these coaches and really get inside their psyches and their processes. But just looking from the outside, I'm looking for a guy whose teams typically don't turn the ball over and are not penalized. That's kind of where it starts for me, because football's a tough enough game when you're trying to beat one team. But when you're trying to beat two at the same time, yourself and the other team, it's really difficult. And I think one of the biggest things that's held Nebraska back is all the mistakes, all the giveaways, all the penalties. And, of course, you know, the Osborne teams were known for being low penalty teams and low turnover teams, low giveaway teams, I should say. So protect the football. Do not be penalized very much. You know, play style I'm a little agnostic about, but if in my heart of hearts I would lean more run than pass, I want to hear what this guy, what the next guy would do to address bringing in talent to the state of Nebraska, which starts, by the way, with closing the borders. I mean, we've seen several athletes in recent years who are national-level recruits leave the state of Nebraska. So job one is close the borders, and job two is keep guys in the state, or bring guys into this program that can add. The other thing is solid line play. I think we're looking at a team right now in Nebraska that has really good skill players on the offensive side especially. And if you're looking for a strength on the defensive side, I think the defensive backfield's the best unit position-wise. But where has it gotten Nebraska? They're 1-2, especially in the Big Ten. This is a trenches league. This is an offensive line league. And obviously, it's basic that the team that wins the trenches wins the game, but especially in the Big Ten, I think it's more so. So how are your offensive and defensive lines typically as a coach, and are you able to develop those pieces? So that's kind of what I would be looking for in the next guy. I'm sure some of that is in Trev Alberts' thinking, and like I said, you know, because he will have the opportunity to talk to these guys and get a real sense of how they go about their business, he'll have an even more full picture.
All right, last thing for you. A lot of times you hire the opposite of what you had. Bill Callahan, great offensive mind. Defense was bad. So the Huskers go get Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini's sideline demeanor bothered people, so you get more of a mild-mannered guy in Mike Riley. And then you go try to get a younger, hipper guy that might appeal to people in Scott Frost. What's the opposite now? I mean, is there really a clear-cut opposite of Scott Frost?
To an extent, I think that you look at it and you go a more, if not necessarily a more defensive-minded coach or a coach with a defensive background, a coach who strategically and just kind of how he runs the program is a little more solid, a little more basic, a little more meat and potatoes. I think that's where the opposite part of this discussion comes in, because those UCF teams that won, or the UCF team that won, and even the Oregon teams that Scott Frost coached successfully, were known for their flash, for their ability to run and literally just lightning bolt you out of a game. And I don't know that in the Big Ten Conference you can do that. I think you've got to be a little more solid. So whether that leads to a guy who's older or maybe on the younger end of the scale, that's to be seen. But I could definitely, you know, if you're looking for something strategically, you know, more two tight end sets, more, maybe the fullback comes back. That might be a bit of a stretch. But, you know, something that looks a little bit more like Wisconsin and Iowa in the Big Ten in terms of sort of solid as opposed to fast.
All right. Well, we're going to see in the coming days and coming weeks, I think, and maybe I should even say coming months, before that's determined. He's a young man, but again, an old soul. Our own Nate Rohr putting some perspective on all this for us here tonight. We appreciate it. We'll see you in the booth on Saturday.
Yep. It's still Nebraska, Oklahoma. I'm still excited to see it and glad to be with you tonight, although I wish the circumstances were different.
No doubt. Nate Rohr with us on our Sports Sunday Hotline, which is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Phone lines, text lines back open, 402-413-2400. Jessica will rejoin me next.
Woodhouse at Lincoln offers more than just vehicles. Steeped in tradition, Lincoln customers are offered 100 years of car building excellence, insightful technologies, luxury interior amenities, and benefits of the state-of-the-art showrooms and service departments. Convenient pickup and delivery, and an online buying experience that can be done anywhere. The simplicity of purchasing and owning it makes shopping the Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer an easy choice. Explore how Woodhouse Lincoln can change your drive today at woodhouselincoln.com.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoegemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight.
It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Brent Custer in Broken Bow and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment, service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Tomorrow night, Husker volleyball taking on nationally ranked Stanford at the Devaney Center. 7 o'clock first serve. Our pregame coverage begins at 6:30. Husker soccer will be back on the pitch at Hibner Stadium on Friday night. Conference play begins. They'll welcome the Gophers of Minnesota. Husker football, 11 a.m. start against the Oklahoma Sooners, last non-conference game of the year. On Saturday, 7 a.m. for Husker game day here on the Huskers Radio Network. That is what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. On our text line, Rich in Harlan County said, I'm having a hard time processing whether the game loss or the firing of Coach Frost hurts more. So many of us believe that he was the one. Also, something that I haven't heard talked about is how past UNL administrations have bungled the coach hirings. We'll be looking at their 6th head coach in approximately 20 years. Facts may not be perfect. Fortunately, the current administration leaders have my confidence, are very good, and have shown strong and wise leadership. I think that's exactly right. You got to go put your faith in Trev Alberts now to handle things moving forward. Let's stay in Lincoln and chat next with Melanie. Good evening, Melanie.
Hi. Hi, Greg. I've been a huge fan of yours for a lot of years. And Jessica, I think you're an absolute great addition to the team. I really just want to say thanks to Scott Frost. He's been great, and I'm absolutely heartbroken at what's happened. When he was hired, it seemed like he lifted up the whole state. We've been so proud of him, and I guess we've gotten to see a lot of great flashes through his tenure, and we've had hopes that the wins would be right around the corner. I think he did his best, and we all know that he's probably the most disappointed one of all about how this has turned out. In the end, I think Trev Alberts was right to do the thing. I think he did the right thing, but I don't think we'll ever have the same excitement and hopes that we had with Scott, no matter who he hires. But I do want to wish him the best. I want to wish Scott all the best, and I want him to know and rest in the knowledge that he'll continue to have a lot of Nebraska fans rooting for him wherever he goes. I wish him the best success, and go Big Red.
Melanie, very well put, and thank you so much for the kind words as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
Scott, very rarely do you get the entire fan base that's excited about a hire. And Scott had that. Usually people are like, oh, I kind of wanted X, I wanted O, I wanted somebody else. They didn't with Scott. Scott was the guy, and that's why I think this is sad with what has happened here. But you're right, Melanie. Put your faith in Trev, and we move on. Let's go to Milford and Bob. Good evening, sir. You're up here on the program.
Greg, Coach Bargan, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Listen, I'm disappointed. I wanted Coach to be the guy. It didn't work out, and I know it's not you guys doing it, but we got to stop putting. This is the first 25 guys we need. We have to put everything into Coach Joseph right now. You know, I think we're doing a disservice to him by publishing things that says, well, here we want Urban Meyer, we want the guy from Iowa State, we want this. No, he's our guy, and we got to turn things over to him now.
I absolutely agree. I agree with you. I mean, and it's going to be a process. So I understand that people like to talk about it and like to speculate and like to have their lists and whatnot because, hey, it's gets a lot of clicks and people listen. But for me, hey, let's take our time with this and be all in on this team this year. And with Mickey Joseph, I'm with you on that.
I don't see Feinbaum and CBS and all the other ESPN saying, well, here's the top 25 guys that Nebraska should hire. We've got a guy right now. Trev's going to do his job and make sure that he's got things covered. But right now, it's up to Coach Joseph.
Got 9 games, Coach. That's a long, long way to go in this season. And you're right. Perfect sentiments from you. Always great to hear from you. Thank Bob.
Bye.
Yeah, that's exactly the way everybody should attack this week. It's fine to feel sad. It's fine to move on. It's fine to put your support behind Mickey Joseph. He's our coach for the next couple of months. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back with our weekend winners. That's coming up next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Backed by popular demand, Hyvee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hyvee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hyvee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hyvee, you get a 20-cent Hyvee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Our Sports Only Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Mark in Battle Creek sent a text. I'm trying to decide which emotion is greater, the day we got Frost as our head coach or the sorrow the day he got fired and had losing seasons. Love the show. We move on. That's what's next in Big Red Country, Mark in Battle Creek. That's exactly right, Mark. That's what we do. We move on. Let's move on to winners. Let's start with our boy Andrew. What's your winner for the weekend?
Wasn't even ready on that, Greg. I'm not going to lie. My weekend winner, short and simple, I'm going to go Mike Tomlin.
Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers head coach.
Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. I think he just doesn't get enough recognition and enough media talking about him. I mean, Pittsburgh hasn't had a losing season since 2003. I know he hasn't fully been on that board, but he's been a big contributor to make that happen. And, I mean, that showed this Sunday when they beat a Super Bowl contending team, and they went to overtime with them. So I think he needs to be talked about a little bit more, and that's my weekend winner. I do not have a loser.
All right. Now, this is only a winner segment. The losers come Friday at the
that's
end
what
of the
it was.
week.
My bad. I was jumping the gun a little bit.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm going to go with another coach. Getting his first win as a head coach, Brian Dable, with the New York Giants. I'm a New Yorker.
For two.
He went for two. He had the stones to do that.
Yes.
I'm from New York. I'm from not too far from New York City. I can tell you how depressed New York football fans are 90% of the time. Giants, every once in a while.
The Jets are brutal.
Jets, I know so many Jets fans.
They're
But
brutal.
besides the point, Brian Dable, he's bounced around. He started at William & Mary, which Andrew's winner also coached and played. I think he played at William & Mary. I think Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott with the Bills. But besides the point, Dable going from OC, bouncing around, going to the Giants. The team has been very stuck in limbo and getting a big win.
At Tennessee, big win. All right, Jessica.
So yesterday afternoon, it's about 5 o'clock, the field out in Memorial Stadium was just full of kids, special needs kids and people. It was a life skills event, and it was such a great event. Life Skills does an incredible job of getting these student athletes involved in the community, but O'Shawn Mathis was out there, was incredible with the kids. A.J. Allen was out there, was incredible with the kids. And Emmett Johnson was out there. There were several football players that, hey, this was a tough day for them. And they had committed to be there. They showed up. They were there. And it was so great to see them and in that element and how awesome they were with some of the kids and the folks out there. And there were a lot of the entire basketball team, men's basketball team was out there, a lot of student athletes that were out there on a Sunday. But for those football student athletes to be out there after a tough loss losing their coach,
Yep.
They had committed to be out there. They were out there and they were doing it wholeheartedly. That, no doubt about it, to me was my winner.
That'd be pretty easy to go, you know what, there's a lot of other student athletes that aren't going through what we're going through right now. Let them do this one. It really speaks highly of those guys that are able to do that. All right, my winner, Sun Belt, Fun Belt. What a weekend for that conference. App State goes and wins at Texas A&M. Marshall beats Notre Dame, and unfortunately Georgia Southern beats Nebraska. What a weekend for that conference. I mean, amazing. That league is pulling off some big-time wins this year, and might be a league to keep an eye on. If this playoff gets expanded to 12, they might have a chance of getting one of those automatic qualifiers one year.
Which would be a great story, and
if
they can keep improving, they'll definitely be one of those teams in that conversation.
Mickey Joseph will have a press conference tomorrow. We'll play you some clips tomorrow night. Short show ahead of Husker volleyball as they take on the Stanford Cardinal. Thanks to Tim, Andrew, and Jessica, and all of you. Have a great show. Have a great night.
402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. A record 54 Husker students earned the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship in the 2021-2022 academic year. This nationally competitive scholarship provides funding for study and internship abroad opportunities for high-achieving students who might not otherwise be able to afford them.